Hello, and welcome to another episode of Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. My name is Max. I'm the CEO of Because Bitcoin, and today we are joined by Tucker, Will, and Jackus. We are missing Snorlax, but I think he will be joining us here shortly for some cooking. But without further ado, let's get things rolling. Lots to discuss. We had some nice weekend maybe vertical accumulation on Ethereum. Certainly looks like it. Seems like there's been little to no regard for the CME futures gap that has now been left behind. I guess the big question is, will we drop and fill it? We are starting to flip some levels, horizontal and diagonal on ETH, and we are going to do our best to basically narrate and forecast what we as a team here see happening next, and have a whole bunch of different debates as we go through a wide range of assets and maybe even asset classes today. I think there's definitely some noteworthy items to discuss in legacy markets as well. So let's do this. I'm going to throw Jackus's screen on. We had daylight saving time here in the U.S. Jackus is not a resident of the U.S., so the time difference threw him off today because we pulled a sneaky one on the Europeans and we did daylight savings here. So anyways, we're going to go to Jackus first because he's going to have to leave about 20 minutes early today. We're going to let him cook right off the bat. But Jackus, talk to me, man. It looks like you're bullish on ETH here. We flipped that 1850 level, which you've been talking about for a long time. So please cook away. You're on mute, by the way, Jackus.
Good point, Max. Glad you said it early. Otherwise, I would cook for no one, and that's not what we like to do. We like to cook for you guys.
We like to eat the food, you know. If you're gonna cook, we might as well eat, right, Jackus?
Yeah, and you know what I love, guys, when I start cooking, that you guys start cooking the like button. You know, that like button needs to be smashed. So we are upping the numbers. We want 40, 50 likes per show now, because that's the value we bring in, and we want to see those ramping up as the price is ramping up, right? Especially as the predictions start to play out everywhere. So let's get to it. Let's cook. This is ETH chart, and this is one of the most important price reclaims we had in if you guys hear a dog bark,
I think your dog's trying to explain what vertical accumulation is on ETH.
Legit. He is just telling you guys, long.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we had a actually one sec. I'll okay, time to go. So I think this was one of the most important price reclaims we had for Ether in a long time. I would maybe deem it as important as this price reclaim we had in January.
What's the price level on those reclaims there?
Good call. It's the 1850 level, guys. It's the 1850 we talked about for so long. You know, the price closed above it with the Sunday candle. We closed around 1900, and this level breaks the market structure. This is the level, and we've been live down here on Thursday, the 12th of October, right when we swept this level. And ever since we had this capitulation in August, to 1550 level or so, I talked about how we absolutely must hold this level. This is the key area. This is the area that led to the market structure breakout, right? Market structure shift, which broken the August 2022 high at $2,030. This was the area to hold, and bears got absolutely insane here. Right at support, the bears starting to call for zero, for this rolling over. We are going to 3 digits again, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, this is the level of confluence. Yes, it did look scary, but it always is. And in hindsight, it looks absolutely fucking obvious, right?
Jacket, you know what that looks like?
Tell me.
like the bottom there at 1500 looks like 28K Bitcoin back in you know what I'm talking about? Back in 2021 or whatever.
Are
Oh
you talking
yeah,
about the
oh
summer
yeah,
range on Bitcoin after
yeah,
the
yeah,
Wyckoff
yeah.
distribution?
This is like
Yeah,
pre Alameda blow off,
Indeed,
is what
indeed.
it looks like.
That's a
I
good
could see
point,
that for sure, Tucker.
Tucker.
You
Yeah,
see
That's a
that?
good
How
I
it
could
point.
see
just like
that.
bottomed and then it just
And
rocked.
the three taps at the low is what's doing it
Mm-hmm.
for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So following up on that, we probably get continuation, OI shakeout, and then continuation higher, right?
Oh, much higher, man. Much higher.
Much higher. We
Much
will
higher.
get to that. We will get to that. But yeah, this it's still important to discuss what we talked about, how correctly or incorrectly we predict or not predict that, and take lessons from it, right? So if I look back, this is how the price looked, and it looked. Now it's obvious, right? But back then people would call, "Hey, this is like this is the market structure break. We are, yeah, maybe like a small mechanical bounce, but we are dying lower." And I said, like, yeah, surely on the daily it's possible, but because of all the things that are happening, I'm anticipating uh, the vice versa. I'm anticipating us and I was saying that, by the way, ahead. I was saying that right here,
What
that we
price is that?
possibly 1580. At 1580, I was saying we're gonna sweep 1530 possibly, and then revert right from there. And that's exactly what happened. But looking back, the lesson to take is that at the higher time frame support, right?
You still have inverse Jackus saved.
I do.
Hey, you know what's funny here, Max? This was the range where I drew the normie trend line, and everybody was cheat on the door in me. All right, everybody was like cheat on the door.
What range are you talking about?
1500.
The 1500 range low?
Yeah, like I don't know if you remember, we were having a conversation here
Yeah.
on Market Check, and like everybody was cheat on the door me, telling me how that's it. It's gonna snap
I
here
remember.
and
I
things are
mean,
gonna go
dude, I'll
down.
be honest, for a small period of time, I thought it was like basically over for ETH, man. That day when we were at the lows, I said if they can't save this here, like people will jump off buildings. It will be such a horrible drop.
I was like, it
Um,
feels so bad here that
yeah.
it's gonna reverse.
Yeah, I think we didn't get below 1500 that day, did we? We got close, but I don't
No,
think we
we
got
we
below it.
didn't we did not touch below 1500 after that conversation.
Yeah. No, they saved it. We got really close, I remember.
Yeah, maybe on some perpetual exchange it possibly happened, but yeah,
Yeah.
1500 got saved. And yeah, like guys, we were also not unreasonably bullish, right? We also get, like I was telling you, this is a level to hold, and until it breaks, we need to anticipate it to hold and buy here, because this is a golden opportunity. And then if you are waiting for that very conservative reclaim, act as if we are here, right? And you are still like, okay, I'm not waiting. Well, today you got that 1850 reclaim. 1850 reclaim. So now you must act. If you were sidelined, don't act like this hasn't happened. It has. We have reclaimed the 1850 level. And from here, I do anticipate us to retest the range highs at 2030. Then we possibly may or may not see a accumulation, but I do expect us to continue to break this ascending triangle to the upside and start trading towards 2600 or 3600, as two macro levels for me. And this break higher, that in my opinion comes later on, will push the Ether BTC chart to the upside. This is where many people that doubted our analysis has been proven wrong already, and now everyone is still in the denial that ETH-BTC will go up. And listen, it may not. We will get to ETH-BTC on the lower time frames, but you still cannot deny this simple fact. if BTC USD goes to 50K and ETH USD goes to 3,600, which are the same levels, right? It's the March, April 2022 high. If both goes there, for BTC, it's about 40% price appreciation from the current levels. And for ETH USD, that's about 90%. Okay, so that makes the case for ETH BTC to run higher. No one can deny this. And these two like to follow each other. These two do follow each other. And I think ETH USD is currently lagging. And I do think right now we had, with this break above 1850, we basically had that higher time frame macro structure break, because this weekly supply zone, this resistance, right? That's the resistance. That's the last price of action that held us before the breakdown of the June low at 1630 or so. Now that we have reclaimed it, reclaiming all these levels at like 1750 or so, were also important, but reclaiming 1850 is the absolute most important.
Jackus, I remember when we were at the range lows, you said this is the spot to buy ETH, but if it's too risky, you should just wait for 1850, because if you flip 1850, we're going significantly higher. I remember we have it on video. You said that numerous times.
Here's the thing, though, with both of your guys' analysis, and this is the thing I want to point out, Jackus, and this is why I shove at the lows, because, hey, if it goes deeper, it goes deeper. A lot of people are like, well, I'd rather buy higher than buy lower. Right?
No.
No. I'm not saying us. I'm just stating, like, I see this on Twitter all the time. Like, people talking about 30K Bitcoin, I'll buy back in. It's like, if you're willing to buy 30K, why would you not buy 25K? Why would you not buy 20K?
Well, their argument is just confirmation, right? It's safer. Their argument is that it's safer to buy then.
Okay, a lot of things are safer.
They would rather sacrifice upside in order to be correct. Is that argument?
That could never be me, Tucker.
No, it could never be me.
That could never be me.
Look, it could never be me. But again, Tucker, that goes into buying up, not buying down, right?
They're
if you're waiting for higher prices, you're buying up.
Okay, there's a couple things we need to discuss right now. Very pressing issues we need to discuss right now. One, Ozil, thank you so much for the super chat. You truly are the real MVP. Thank you, Ozil. We are going to get to that question ASAP. So thank you very much. Second most pressing issue to discuss is that the likes are still in accumulation and have yet to break out. We right now have 21 likes on this video. We are in accumulation. The likes on this video looks just like the Ethereum chart that Jackus has pulled up right now. We are accumulating at range highs, but we need that breakout. So guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please consider just taking one quick moment and hitting that thumbs up button for us. It does wonders for the channel. It does wonders for the show. And the reason we're able to grow so quickly is because of your guys' continued support and how you guys abuse the like button. So guys, please don't just hit the like button, smash the like button. Break your mouse to hit that like button. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Happy Monday. Happy flip of 1850. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up every single day. Warms our heart. We love to see it. But yeah, we need to break out. The likes need to break out. We're at 24. We got to hit 40 today. The range high breakout should take us to at least 40 likes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Additionally, if you are new here, maybe you're watching live or perhaps you're watching later on today, the recording. We are Because Bitcoin, and this is Market Check. This is our daily live show. We are live every single day, Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time with this normal cast. Plus, we normally have one other guy named Tommy, who's a fantastic trader. He's going to be here shortly. Please consider subscribing and also turning on notifications because we go live again every single day. This is our live show, Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. So please consider subscribing. Maybe you're here from Twitter. This is your first time watching. It's a great show. It's a constant hour-and-a-half long alpha dump. That's all we do is just dump alpha constantly. We're addicted to it. But yeah, guys, thank you for liking and also subscribing. And Ozil, thank you again for the super chat and for supporting us. There he is, man. There is no second best. Tommy will be joining us later, hopefully. There is no second best to Tommy, and there is also no second best to Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. But anyways, I'm going to kick it back to you, Jackus. I went cooking a little bit there talking about likes and super chats. And Ozil, I promise we're going to get to your super chat question here very soon. Thank you again for the support.
Yeah, I first have to say, some guys wait for confirmation and some guys buy our liquidation. So we bought the liquidation right at 1550. I'm just kidding. It's good sometimes.
But you're not
to
kidding. You actually did that.
I actually did it.
He's trying to be nice, but he did that. He bought it.
Yeah, some truth to that. But yeah, I understand that some guys want to play it conservative and wait for that confirmation, and that's okay. But it has some limitations too, because if you want to have it hard, like me, then you buy the liquidation. But if you want to have it easy, that sometimes means you will get higher price. You might sometimes get front run, and you might sometimes miss as the price keeps going higher. And that's something you need to consider here, guys, because now that we have broken the 1850 level, that was the conservative weight that you had to do. Now that we have broken it, you have to act, and now that we have broken it, you also need to consider the possibilities that you might not get your retests. That's the price for waiting for confirmation. Because if you want it easy, then it has some pros and cons, just like anything. If you buy an early, you have the risk of price going lower. If you wait for confirmation, you might not get that retest. That's the price. And I'm not saying we don't get the retest for EtherUSD. I think we do, but just looking at how price is behaving, here, we are getting these H4 retests, and the price is really sort of like acting like the market makers are stopping people left and right. We have this sort of triangle here, but we have just broken above, and maybe this is the retest. Maybe there is no more retest than this, and you need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared for the fact that the market might keep on running higher. And
Jackus, what level would be what would the textbook perfect retest be for Ethereum here before potentially higher? And also, what would the level be for if maybe it's a more shallow pullback and we don't get the perfect one?
To be honest, with the recent price action, I don't really see us, maybe retesting, because look at this. This was all efficiently retested. And the 1760 level, which was the October 1st high on Ether, that one got retested. This is the weekly swing, right? So if you are looking at the inefficiency below, those do not need to get filled, because it would only be inefficiency if we didn't come back and retest the 1760 level on the higher time frames. This is the important retest. That one has already happened. And look at these price swings. All have pretty efficient price moves higher. So I'm yet to create a price scenario of EtherUSD, how exactly it does or doesn't retest here. I think my ideal scenario would be where we go to the range highs at 2030 and reject there, right? But we don't make a full pull. Let me actually make the chart clean so we can act upon it. We're just gonna now have the upper boundary here, right?
And that's at about 2000.
That's about 2000, above 2000 to 2030. That's the range high, basically, right? It's an area, it's not like one level. It's sort of an area around there. So we could easily continue straight up from here there.
The thing with your chart there, Jack, is.
Sorry?
Will, you cut out there?
You're lagging a bit.
You're lagging, yeah.
You're lagging a lot, Will.
Can you guys hear me okay?
The lagor. Yeah.
We hear you, Will. Now.
He's upset.
What about now? Is that better?
We hear you. We hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So not like it, but so the thing is like a lot of people tend to forget. Like if you look at that zone right there, you're talking about that probably won't get retested. There's a lot of consolidation in that range. There's just so much price action movement in that in between that 1700 and 1800 zone that the likeliness of coming back and revisiting that is almost impossible, in my opinion, because you just have so much price action back and forth. That's what we call consolidation. Consolidation doesn't have to get retested.
No, Will. It's called vertical accumulation, brother. That's in the title.
No, wait. Let me. I gotta
we can
show
call
you
it
guys.
vertical.
I
We can
gotta-
call it consolidation. We
Guys, I
call it a
gotta show you
range.
something. I
But
have
once you
to.
break the highs, hold on.
Shocking.
Before we get to that,
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
You
All right,
just pulled a Tommy and stole the screen.
if
man.
Yeah,
if we could go if we can go to Exhibit A of Bitcoin 2020 going into 2021 real quick, if we can just go into Exhibit A there. How many times did Bitcoin come back and retest once it started taking off?
None.
Very few. Very few. It doesn't.
I mean, you
It's
No,
the
it
never,
shallow
hasn't
pullbacks,
retested.
you know.
you never got a retest of that. Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is, all right, and we could discuss the ETH BTC chart because I think a lot of people sit there, ETH BTC. Look, you say that 10 times fast. So if you look at those two charts specifically, right, all that needs to happen for ETH BTC to continue to bleed, all that needs to happen is BTC just has to move at a faster pace than Ethereum. That's it. And ETH BTC bleeds. That's all it takes. And so many people are fading that. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And this is the exact argument I was talking about. If BTC moves 40% and ETH moves 20, guess what? ETH BTC bleeds. And a lot of people seem to forget January to March, where Ethereum didn't do jack all, while BTC continued to drive and continue to destroy Ethereum. And then what happened? All that extra liquidity moved right back into Ethereum and altcoins.
Tucker, what are you doing here? You're a menace on the charts, man. What is this?
No, I just pulled that. But no, look at this.
Narrate it for me in the most descriptive detail that you possibly can.
All right, this is. I've cracked the code, guys. All right. So let
Guys,
me
just quickly, I have only the last 10 minutes, so I do not want to steal the show, but then I really have to go.
You have 10 minutes.
Let's let Jackus finish his cook.
All right.
Because he's got to go. Daylight savings threw him off.
There it is. No, Max.
Yep.
You menace.
It's always a battle with
You
Tucker.
menace.
It's always a battle, man.
Then you guys can cook after. Okay, so what can happen possibly, what I see is a scenario where we continue to that range high at 2030, 2000 sort of. Then we can create like these two pullbacks around that area, right? Pressure in the upper channel, and then we break higher. Similar to what actually happened to Kaspa. You know, I'm going to share the chart here. This is the chart I shared on Bitland. Look at it. This is how we pressured the upper boundary, right, at 52 cents or so. And then we have never retested this sort of support, right? Everyone probably wanted to buy the support, and
What
many
support?
times doesn't do
What
that.
support level is that?
47.7 cents or so.
Yeah.
So it did not retest it. It stayed at the 52 upper ceiling, and then it broke through like this. And this is what I anticipate from Ether to happen. What Ether does is where it goes up there, creates like these two pullbacks. Maybe it creates higher low, maybe lower high compared to this swing, but it pullbacks to like maybe 1930. So it never really does some deep pullback that everyone wants to buy. Maybe it does. Like, I'm just saying, you guys, if it does this, you really need to start accumulating all the way up here, and don't wait for those.
I think you're on point, and this is where the market tricks people, because what it'll do is it'll get to a certain zone, and then people will see the hesitation, and then they'll expect the pullback, and it'll continue to chop that zone for a period of time, and people will wait for the pullback to price, and then it'll rip again, right? And that's where people are looking for the retest, but it's like, dude, you're going to miss the entire move because you won't play the chop, because you think that it's going to come back deeper than where it's actually accumulating.
Exactly, Will. And we see that on so many charts happening over and over again. And then when this happens, when this breakouts above 2000, the 2030 happens, above that ascending triangle upper boundary, that's when ETH BTC will start to run. Because if once again BTC goes to 50K, that means Ether USD to 3,600, and that's just simple math. And we already see that ETH BTC is now catching up higher. It has broken, guys. It has broken. Okay, and I need. What do I need here? I need lower time frame range here, right?
Jackus, I have a really important question for you when you're done. Okay, you finish.
Okay,
It's the most important question.
Okay, and then we have already broken the ETH BTC M15 range, right? That's this range.
We've
I talked
accepted
about
the new
it.
range too.
And by the way, I talked about this live when we were right here around 5,200 satoshis or so, and I said we probably take this low, maybe even go all the way down to this M15 close, right? We take that too, and then we start to create the range. What happened? We have created the range. What happened now? We have broken above the range, and this is exactly how the turnaround starts. This is how reversals start, and I think this breakout leads to the breakout of this high of 5,550 satoshis. I think we do break that. That's what the daily capitulation candle, right? We have already, look at it, we have already closed above the close of that candle. I think we move higher, and then the price really starts to revert and goes higher, and that will be the time. And look at, by the way, look at the weekly RSI on here. And I kept on saying this right here, this block of price, this range, right? This daily demand, and I said multiple times we can sweep below these lows. This is the range. This is the range low.
Jack, if you pulled it back to all the way back to your left, right there. No, the blue box. Sorry, just pull it left more. So if you look right there, it did the same. It came into the same zone, right? It's retested that zone multiple times, and if you pull it for left more, if you look over there, once you broke through that spot right there, that area of liquidity, what did you do the second you broke above that blue box?
More
on the very far left.
Guys, I'm so confused. I don't know where should I.
No, very far left.
More.
Right?
Keep going.
Right there.
More.
That's it. No, don't listen to them. Don't
there
listen
you go.
to them.
There you go.
More.
That's
Don't listen to them. So on that market drive right there, see how we came up, hit that blue box on the first cycle over in 17, and then bounced down, rolled back under, came back up, retested again, used it as support, and then ripped off of there, right? Now we're kind of playing above that range where that high time frame resistance was, right? We're continuing to hold that as your support again. And really, in reality, the second we start accepting back above that, in my opinion, I think we're gonna move high significantly, like really freaking high. So all we got to do is accept above that range and hold above that range without any type of downwards consolidation, which I think we've already had. And this thing could definitely rip. But that's your support right there. It's a pretty easy, clean support to see all the way across the board.
a nice level. Really,
without going more.
That's a good point, and I have marked this range, this one, for a long time. That this is the big range, and we cannot break below this low. This was my invalidation. I stated that very clearly. Unlike many ETH BTC bears that have no invalidation, their invalidation is probably like all-time highs or something. I don't know. So this was my invalidation, and this is the level to accumulate in. And the moment, now we are already seeing that reversal on the lower time frames, and look at the weekly RSI. Is as oversold as it was, that it was not as oversold as this all the way back to the very bottom of September 2019. That's how oversold the market, the alt market currently is. And people keep laughing at these weekly oversold levels at confluent with horizontals and the narratives and fundamentals as well. and they keep laughing at these, and these so many times revert up. Whether it's stocks, whether it's yields, whether it's crypto, it doesn't matter. And I'm telling you, this is a great spot to get in, and it will be as easy as this. Okay, this is your, once again, let's go ETHUSD, right? Let's go ETHUSD here. So it has. Do not overcomplicate this, guys. I cannot make it. If you cannot follow the right curve, follow the left curve. From the upper boundary break to the 3060, which is the same level, it is the same level as, oh man, it is the same level as okay. Oh, good. Okay, it is the same level as March 2020, which is 90k. Which is the 50k for BTC. So I'm using higher prices than we are currently in for ETHUSD, and you can still see it's 80% from there, right? If I use it from the current prices, it's 90%. For BTC, from the current prices to that level, it's 37%, right? It's this high. It's the same for both. These two follow each other on the higher time frames. It's simple as that. There can be some shorter term deviations, but it's as simple as that. So the moment we see this breakout on the ETH USD chart, right? This is the moment. This is the moment we start breaking above this ascending triangle upper boundary on ETH USD. That's the moment ETH BTC starts to gun higher. It will be quick. It will be surprising. And
so just to call out the level, when you're saying when Ethereum definitively flips that 2000 level, give or take, is when ETH BTC as a pair begins to really show some solid strength.
Yes, that will be the moment that happens. I think right now we flip this daily, maybe reaccumulate, but the moment it breaks that key level of 2000, 2030, that area, that's when ETH BTC really starts ripping higher, and in my opinion breaks 65 to 70, 7,000 to let's say let's call it 6,300 to 7,000. That's around the area I see it. It's definitely going above these.
And what percentage move is that from the low right now, Jack? If you were to measure that?
Yeah, from the current levels, that's about 30%. So you can see how nicely this measures up. This is the left curve. This is as left curve as it is.
Real quick for the audience, that's Satoshi's he's speaking in, just in case people weren't understanding.
Yeah.
I know we get some listeners, so we want to make sure you're aware of what numbers we're talking about.
Yeah, I was talking when I was calling for ETH BTC, I'm talking in Satoshis. So I'm talking about these equal highs at 7,100 Satoshis.
So I know we talk about Satoshis a lot. What do you think that is for price roughly, Jack? Is for the listening audience? Maybe they're not viewing but more listening.
In the USD terms?
In USD, yeah.
That's around $3,600 in my opinion. That's where it goes to. This is in my opinion the next major higher time frame level. The price
Does that happen before the Bitcoin halving? Is that your case, or do you think it happens after? That's a long way to go. I mean, almost 4,000 on ETH. That's a long way to go. I know it can happen quick.
It's not.
Well, I mean, go back and look at how long we've been under 2,000 for. I mean, it's
exactly.
So
exactly, Max.
For those,
no. Listen, exactly, Max.
The accumulation. I get it. The accumulation's been a long time, but
yes,
the Bitcoin halving is. I mean, what's November? The Bitcoin halving's end of March, early April, right? It's not that far out. Do you really think that ETH USD is going to rally 80% into the Bitcoin halving, or does this come after the Bitcoin halving and it takes a little bit to get up
before?
It
happens before. Yes,
brother.
I hope you're right, man.
either
I mean, I would make a ton of money, but
Either
It
way.
Listen. It happens before. Then we get that reaccumulation into BTC halving, maybe slightly after on East BTC pair, and then the real alt season begins. This is a small one. What we are seeing right now is a small beginning of a small
That
alt
was
season.
my exact thought too, Jackus, is that 2024 won't be as big as most expect, and then you'll get the next cycle high as being your actual real deal. But I would like to say, could we draw a line across those highs you got there between the highs that already exist and the high you have right there, where you're basically showing the small altcoin season, and then
are you talking about? You got to be more descriptive than that.
You
I
gotta
don't
be
even know.
all the
way more
highs.
You got
the
3 charts
highs.
up, and you said draw a line across.
September, okay, Ethereum BTC, September, and then maybe like December of 2022, September of 2020. What is that? September of 2023. So like kind of across those highs. No. So more of an angled high. Up more. I mean to your left more. Sorry.
Oh, the highest point there.
The highest point,
the all-time
yes. The
high.
highest point
Yeah.
where you're going into. Yes, down more. Now
He wants
bring
it
that down.
angled across that.
Oh, he
the
wants a
last
trend
high.
line. Make it a trend line.
Yeah, like a trend. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
that's
what he
it.
wants. That's what he
So
wants.
yeah, this is what we like to call the good old compression. And then if you were to draw a circle across all the lows, all the way back from May, all the way to now, you can
Which
kind
May?
of see where
Which year?
the entire all the no, the very bottom lows, the lowest lows.
Draw
So
a circle around
May-
the lows, Jackus.
Just like that. Just
I'm
But
really
look-
confused from this
Jacka, see
description.
2019
Will, pull your screen up. Will, pull your screen up.
2021.
This is painful. Pull your screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
No.
He said no.
You can. Oh,
You know what's
I
even
gotta
more
look
painful
through
than
it.
that is that we don't have 40 likes on the stream yet. Guys, if you are here and you are enjoying this content, please just take one moment and support Market Check
I
brought to you by
think-
Because Bitcoin by liking the stream. Guys, we got 46 people watching. We got
All
36
right, I'm
likes.
on.
I know we can get to 40 real quick. So, guys, please just take one quick moment, hit that thumbs up. Additionally, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern time every single day. So please consider liking and subscribing. Let's run the range high of 40 likes today. Back to you
All right.
guys.
Was this Will what you were talking about? This giant compression?
Yeah, I mean that was one, and then there was another one. So I always like to look at it like round bottoms, round tops. Those kind of tell you your market structure. But let me, if I could use the screen real quick.
Yeah. Go on. I will have to leave, guys, now. So I will just leave it to you and continue there. I think some alpha was shared. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time
For
today, so I have to apologize. But we,
As you can see
you know,
here, great minds
I'll
think
be
alike.
here,
you say.
guys. I'll be here tomorrow again. So if you want more alpha, be ready to be here again, and then the day after again, because we are sharing lots of alpha, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So see ya there.
See you,
Have a good
Jackus. Thanks.
See you,
discussion, guys.
Jackus.
So, yeah.
Will,
Yeah.
we can't mimic Raul Paul's TA, man. We can't do it.
What do you mean Rob Paul's TA?
I think it's the Raul Paul trend.
You
line.
talking about this?
What's a Raoul Powell? What is
ignore
that?
know.
ignore the
I
ignore
don't
the
know
trend.
how to say
Look,
his
ignore the
name,
trend.
bro.
Look.
Raoul is like growl.
What I was talking about was like
Raoul.
this, and then what we're getting now, right? Like this.
Yeah, that's
And-
nice.
and-
Will.
A lot of people are fading the move because they don't realize you're at the bottom, right? You're at the bottom of the accumulation range. Now, we could always argue nuances when it comes to accumulation, but as you can see, when accumulation happens, you start to get lower, low, lower, low, lower, low, and then you flip. Right?
Will, you could argue we're at that first blue candle there at the bottom.
You could.
From 2019, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You could easily say you're here.
And
Yeah.
that's where I think we are, by the way. For what it's worth, I think that the ETH BTC pair is more probabilistically bottomed than not bottomed, but I don't think it's about to go like absolutely bananas quite yet. I think we're going to range and accumulate probably through the end of the year. I think we could have periods of outperformance, but I don't think it's going to go parabolic until after the halving.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
where we're at.
2025.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
I'm not in the complete moon from here, but like I definitely think that when you look at this area and you look at this area, they're very similar, right? And that's something to really pay attention to with
Wait,
price.
how many months did we spend down there if we assume we're at that first
If
blue
we're
candle?
right here, then
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 before we flipped.
4 before we started ripping. So that would be consolidate into the halving just about and
Yep.
rip out of it.
And rip out of it. Exactly. So it would play into the halving with Bitcoin. And you would see them start to kind of run liquidity back and forth between the two. Like this is your your VC coin special, right? When you go to the menu and you're like, I want the VC coin special, the one that's going to exit liquidity me at the top with the ETH Foundation.
You want near,
This is
man.
the one.
That's the VC token king.
The VC token king.
Oh, Tommy out of left field.
Tommy came out with the alpha. Yeah, near. But you gotta play the VC until the VC starts swinging, right? So you know the VC is gonna sit there and they're gonna start twapping it up. They're gonna push it up, right? And once they start getting up there against resistance, you already know what the VC is doing. Get out. So near is still a play. It's a play until it isn't, right? And that's what I think where a lot of people get messed up because they think, oh, near's the future because it's moving up. No, it's moving up in price because they're adding liquidity to suck you in. That's why. And they're going to continue to push up, especially into the bull run, because they know a lot more liquidity will move in. So they'll add a lot more liquidity to push these prices up. I'm going to take advantage of that. Whereas a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is the future. This is the ETH killer. This is the that killer. And they're all going to become, 98, 99 Xers down for the next cycle. But when I look at BTC ETH, like this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this and I'm seeing this. I know a lot of people, here's the problem and here's the fade. I think with a lot of people is a lot of people are thinking we're here, right? I don't think we're even close we are at the halving. We are much closer to here than we are anything close to here.
I mean, just mark out November 2019, like the exact month we're in pre-halving, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you look, hold on, let me grab a vertical. September, October. I mean, right here's your October, and right here's your November.
Yeah,
right?
just not even from price, but just time. Like that's where we should be.
Yeah, this whole area right here, this whole area is an altcoin shove. That's what it is in my eyes, right? In my eyes, because if we were to look at November right here, 2019, let's go to the normie coins, right? Let's go to the normie coins. Let's look at something like ADA, for instance, right? Best tech out there if you listen to most normies. ADA USDT. Now, granted,
people love ADA, man.
I pointed this out. Look, I pointed this out.
It's a good time.
And look at that bottom. Look at that bottom. It has played time and time and time and time and time again. It does not miss. But if you come over and you look at September, right, or November, right here in 2020, boom. But I know there's a further out chart for
an X chart of ADA.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know there's a further one. Hold on. Okay, now we want November of 2019. So let's go in here. October, November. Where was ADA at November of 2019? Anybody?
Is that pop quiz? I don't know. I never really traded ADA.
Right here. Look.
What?
Where was ADA at the bottom of 2019?
I'm gonna guess mid 20 cents.
It was roughly around.
There was 8 cents. I mean, it's in the accumulation area, right? I mean,
it was solid. In the. That's the point I'm trying to point out. That is the point I am trying.
Yeah,
to
like
point
this
out.
This is the time when you accumulate altcoins for the next cycle, but you just have to be okay with them not moving right away. But in terms of US dollar pricing, they probably don't go down much from here. They might just slowly grind up and maybe underperform Bitcoin and ETH until they get that rotation. But it doesn't mean that they'll go down in US dollar pricing. They might just not go parabolic quite yet. But I do agree with you there, Will. Like, I do agree.
Could you have gotten ADA cheaper? 100% you could have. If you'd have bought in November and you'd have bought here, you'd have got it cheaper here. But did anybody notice the difference between 4 cents and 2 cents when they bought ADA?
Yeah, you made half as much.
You know what I'm saying, though. Come on, man. You got
I know, I know.
there's
You
a
still made-
reasonable range
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you have to be able to be like, okay, this is where I need to buy.
yeah. Well, let me just run this by everyone on the panel. All right, so I want everybody to look at this. Yeah, not a PO3, just recognizing price, right? It looks a little bit different, but distribution, this exact pattern, Alameda blow off. Yeah. Wait,
Go back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've already massaged. It's perfect. It's literally
I've already massaged these.
it's literally perfect.
Yeah.
I promise you it's perfect.
That's pretty clean, Tucker. I'm not gonna lie,
It was
man.
the bottom that did it for me.
I don't know if I like that big drop though, Tucker. I don't know.
I know. See this? What happened here? This was
No, it flips it. It goes the other direction this time.
September 21. I mean, that brings you back to 1700, but it says you should bull chop to 2035, retest this trend line potentially, and then moon. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's not going to be the same. But you know,
Some people, Tucker, some people think we've lost the plot on stocks. What do you think?
Oh, on stocks, man, lost the plot. I mean, that's your area, man. You got to get above that. Make it nice and red.
I'd say your green box is the area. You can come back and retest that, but that could easily become support.
Yeah, no, it definitely could. It definitely could. But
and if you chop that and hold that as support, you are donezo. Because it will come back up to that red box. I definitely think there's a potential to roll here and then come out. Yeah. I definitely think there's a potential for that.
Ooh, or that.
No, I don't see that. No.
Yeah.
I think 4480 on ES makes sense. I think the equivalent levels like 4420, 4430. We could see that this week.
Tucker, throw it on the weekly really quick on SPY. And just look at that candle.
4480. Yeah, I could see that.
Just throw it up on the week. Look at this straight God candle.
Yeah, that is a
that's a pretty engulfing candle, bro. That's a pretty fucking engulfing candle on a weekly.
damn. Look at those levels, bro.
And the bounce was real. It was real there. It ran through mine a little bit. I had it roughly down to like 41. I think I was trying to hold 4150. It definitely ran mine a little bit, but the second it flipped back above it, 4180, I was like, oh yeah, this is going right back up.
You should, yeah. You probably could have bought this one. That was probably your buy trigger, 4160.
Yeah, between that and 80, yeah.
I mean, that would have been a nice little punt.
Mm-hmm. But you are definitely above high time frame support, in my perspective. Like you are well above it at this point, and that is a god candle, man. Look. The last time we had a candle similar to that was like June of 2022 on the weekly. That's what I would say. June of 2022. I would say November 2022. Like it's usually it's either near the really low or it's near the middle that you get these big candles. And this was the flip zone, so I'd say it's near the low. Right, which if you look at every one of these moves, let me just do a quick comparison here.
Look at this.
You had a 20% move here. You had a You had a 20% move there off the low. So let's say ideally off the low, we move up 20% based on this move. That would put us at 49.52. Now, granted, it's not going to all happen in one move. It took multiple months for that to occur, right? So maybe like 8 months to a year, somewhere in there. But we'll probably be at all-time highs, I think, by the end of next year. Somewhere's roughly in there.
Look at this. Look at this. This is pretty wild. So run up, top, come down, retest right here, just like we did.
Mhm.
Just like we did here. Yeah. God, this candle, I'm only seeing it because of this candle. This candle looks similar. God
does.
candle, right?
That's the load position right there.
And then let's take some bars, man. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Tucker, that's why we were having this conversation the other week. I was like, this is the spot to go up. I was like, it's not the spot to go short. I was like, this is the spot, bro. I was like, there's no better support across the board than that spot.
I like that. I like that.
Look, if you were to flip that upside down, I'd be on board. All right.
But that's the PA. That's what it looks like.
No, because we're not in a downtrending market. We're in an uptrending market.
It looks, I know we were in an uptrend and that started a downtrend.
It started a downtrend, but what happened there on that day?
Hey, we need to get to the super chat. I don't think we got to that yet, did we?
Oh, man, no, we didn't.
Oh, Zeal. Man, we need to get to this ASAP. Boys, it's time.
Okay.
Will, you want to take this?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's fading it. Look, 70 floors, boys. That's all I'm saying. 30 floors. If you get in on the right projects, but people want to continue to fade the NFT market, so it's fine with me. I'll pick up all these projects. Again, I think that gaming is just getting started, man. Like, you're talking beta on beta. We talked about this before, Max, where I said, look, you're talking about basically risk on risk, right? You got the NFT project fluctuating based off of however people feel about the NFT project, and then you also got Ethereum fluctuating based off of price on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you get into a super, we'll say a super speculative market, a super risk on market, those risk on risk plays play really well. And a lot of people just don't want to get into them. And you can get into them at this point for pennies on the dollar. Look, I got into a project, not going to name because I don't show. I bought 10 of each NFT of 2 different types, and then I got 5 of another one. And I probably spent about $4,000 altogether. I think I could flip that for 100K in the next cycle. Like, no BS. Looking at flows, looking at liquidity and move-ins on the project, I think it's an easy play. And that's just slowly scalping those off, right, to the right people. I'm obviously not accepting retard bid or sorry, low bids.
Low bids. We're on YouTube. Come on. I'm kidding.
Love it.
What about Metaverse, man? I haven't heard any.
Bro, look, no, that's the thing. Like, when people go silent, Tucker, that's when you want to pay attention. When nobody's looking, look and see what I watched. 3 different metaverses already hold concerts with real people, like real musicians and shit. Not like B or C artists, like A artists, S artists, stuff like that.
I feel like it's gonna be like some new thing that comes out that's gonna be hot because
it could be, but it's still gonna be the same place. Decentraland, Mana, like it's gonna be the same place.
Sandbox, bro.
Yep, exactly. But there will be new ones, and there's a lot of them out there. I think like people are fading ICO platforms, right? ICO IDO platforms. They're gonna run on what? They're gonna run on speculation. Why are they gonna run? Because liquidity starts to flow back in. What happens? New projects start to launch. What do people want in? They went in on the seed rounds. They went in on the good rounds. How do you get in on them? You buy projects that basically give you entries. You can go Seedify. You can go like man. I can name our projects all day long that I think are going to run the next cycle based off of gaming specifically, right? And the gaming sector is only getting better. You got Unreal. So Unreal Engine 5 was more of a talk back in the day. Unreal Engine 5 is actually being utilized now. You can look at projects like Ark, right? Ark Survival Evolved just relaunched their game in Unreal Engine 5. And arguably they're coming out with a new blockchain game called Hermes. That one's pretty big. I'm paying attention to that pretty closely. It's kind of gone silent at the moment, but because of who it is that's developing it, again, it's Snail Games. I think that those projects right there are ones that you don't want to sleep on necessarily. You continue to pay attention to them and watch when they launch and watch when they give out. So many of these projects, like I'll give you guys an example. Phantom Galaxies, for instance. I got into that one early. All they said was hook up your wallet. We'll airdrop you at some point. I got multiple airdrops were stupid amounts of money, right? And a lot of people are fading these projects where you can literally just hook up your wallet and get free stuff for free, like, and just flip it, in the next bull run. But like going all in on metaverse gaming, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and play my cards right. I think L1s are to play for safety, and then I think I'm gonna roll into gaming and NFTs and stuff like that with a certain percentage. But I'm not gonna go like stupidly crazy all in on gaming specifically.
But this PA looks similar, Will.
Yeah, but you have to consider where we were there and where we are now. Again, we were at that point, FTX implosion, Luna implosion. We also had rate hikes from the Fed. We're actually coming out of that now. We're coming out at rate hikes, going into a pause. Not saying we're cutting. Obviously, we all know that. Going into a pause, hold rates. Probably some liquidity injections as things start to slowly take more and more pressure from the Fed rates, right? And I think the Fed will come in and swoop those people and help them. And what we should see really in reality from here is the opposite of the downtrend, because we just don't have the same systemic environment as what we had there. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't get a systemic environment, right? That doesn't mean that can't happen. And if that happens, you got to pay attention. But if there's no systemic environment and we start breaking above that, we'll say that 4,600. You start getting above that, I would say you're gonna flip this. You're gonna flip this entire thing the other direction.
Well, yeah, if you flip 4,600, it's pretty bullish. Tommy, what's your opinion here, brother?
I mean, I don't know. I was looking at it over the weekend. It's a super aggressive rally. I don't know if I'm necessarily looking to fade this kind of strength, right? I mean, yes, the most aggressive bear market rallies that we typically see, or yes, I would say the biggest bear market rallies are, just straight up off the low like this. But I mean, you really aren't. I don't think you'd be wise to necessarily short until you see some weakness in price, or at the very least, some weakness in, some large caps, right? Like a Microsoft, because Microsoft's high time frame setup looks insane. Tesla, I think, is in a position where it could catch a bid if
100%.
risk on returns. I think the question kind of is, what does the reaction look like when we get to like I said earlier? I think ES can trade 44.80 this week, S&P 44.30. What does the reaction look like at that level, right? That's pretty much what it'll come down to. And even then, it's a little bit difficult to take puts given what Yellen did last week, right? Might fundamentally change the macro from the standpoint of extending the timeline.
To add to your point there too, and I'll let you keep on cooking, Snow. It's not just what Yellen did; it's what they continue to keep doing every single time. It gets to that point where the market should snap and maybe pull some of that liquidity back. They come in and like, all right, let's save the market again, and they're just like winking each other, holding hands in the background while nobody's paying attention. And and that's basically the trade that I just got sick of fading. I'm just like, dude, it's like there's no point. They're just going to continue to manipulate these markets until they don't. And so I'm just going to play the manipulation, and it is what it is. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, look, if you're going to talk manipulation, at least play the manipulation. If you're just saying there's manipulation and you're not playing it, you're just talking. You're not doing anything. But good, Snorlax. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, this is a super aggressive rally. It's still kind of TBD whether we're going to determine if it's just going to continue right up to all-time highs, if it's going to pull back and chop, or if this is a bear market rally. But I think at this point, given the ferocity of the rally, given how much, call premiums are up over the last week, this isn't necessarily where I would be wanting to get positioned. If we just melt up, I think individuals will probably be good bets, picking and choosing spots. But from an index standpoint, this isn't necessarily where I would like to position just yet. I will say the one thing I kind of am interested in this week is, what does the dollar do? Because we are, we did sweep the lows from the last 2 weeks. I don't know that I'm necessarily bullish on the dollar because I think high time frame the dollar is is long term headed significantly lower, whether that be from here or from higher. But I do think there's a possibility for some sort of snapback, some mean reversion, potentially washing out some late shorts on it. But yeah, I mean, I would say that's one thing I'm watching this week.
Look at that range, man. Look at that range. Yeah.
That is a clean range, man. Very, very clean.
Mhm. Yeah. I'd say if you can't hold it here,
You know what would be cleaner than that range? The likes button. If we were above 50
We're
likes.
doing really well on likes right now, Will. Have you
we're
checked?
doing good on the legs.
I mean, I agree with you, Will, but we are kind of doing nice.
We're looking nice. Tommy, what do you think about this propaganda?
There's
I think
nothing
it's
better to bid
interesting,
than
man.
propaganda.
I was having a conversation with Max the other day. I'm still really not that bullish on ETH. I'm more bullish on Bitcoin. And I think I would say like the general sentiment for crypto right now is that people would like to own Bitcoin or they would like to own beta to ETH. Not necessarily like ETH kind of has to prove that it can run hard again before people start getting interested.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this, I mean, it looks like vertical accumulation, but I feel like they wash rip potentially. Because you just know there's so many stops in here, man. Look at this. I mean,
It is a little spooky, you know. There's
all these stops, man. Just wipe rip. I could see it.
That's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't know if we'll get it or not, but at least on ETH, my belief is that we need to hold that like 1870 region, give or take. And I think if we can hold 1870, it's gonna just explode from there. But I would like to see a little flush.
You know what's funny here, Max? What's funny here is that these markets love to bid highs and never love to bid lows. They didn't want to bid 25, but the second it got above 30, they're like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
That's a meat
That's
grinder,
true. That's
man.
true. But like just from a sentiment perspective, it'd be great to get like an early week flush on ETH. 1870 is all we need, man. 1870. This is a nice little drop here, but I'd love to see Tucker see that move right there. That I'd love a move like that.
Took me out. This took me out.
Did it?
Yeah, because I was long from like, where was I long? Like here, and I took some profit, but like right around 1900, I had my take profit.
Yeah.
And I put my stops to in profit at like 1863, right under these lows. And
stops and profit is a dangerous game right now, man. It's a day because they'll do that. They'll shake you out of it before the move starts to happen. And I have a gut feeling they might do that again. I don't know when. I would assume it's going to be soon. And it's not even that aggressive of a drop, right? We're talking about on ETH 20 or 30 points, right? But that's really all it takes because as people are being very aggressive, longing for a breakout that I think is highly probable, maybe not.
Well,
they're looking for, they're going to try to shake you out. And I have a feeling that level is below the previous low that was set at like 1870 there, Tucker. Maybe you could draw a horizontal line.
No, it's exactly what happened because I TP'd 1900 and then I put my stops right around there. And then they just nuked me and then kept going.
But see that the last low there, Tucker, before we just moved up here to the right.
This one?
Yeah. I think I could see a wick down into that region and then just a V recovery, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they give it to you, Max. Like here, I think it's just one of those moves where they just chop everybody out of the shorts or in the longs before they end up actually shoving higher.
Hey, I don't care if it happens. I'm already like I've got spot exposure. I'm hanging out. I'm kind of in and out. I'm in and out on perps, you know, like when I think it's gonna
Yeah.
go, like I'll start shoving perps. But yeah, I mean, like I'm already sized in. I'm just saying I think I could see that happening. It wouldn't be uncharacteristic of ETH to do that before the send.
Yeah, when I said that, I didn't mean like you specifically, but I think there's a lot of people looking for that. They're looking for that retest low. They're like, all right, I see the accumulation finally. Now I'm gonna wait for the retest of the accumulation bottom, and it just doesn't
Yeah.
come back to that. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
I
how
think
these
there's a
things tend
lot
to
of
play.
people wanting to buy the dip, honestly. It feels like a lot of people want to buy a dip. Maybe they'll get it, you know, they
Yeah.
certainly could. But
There's a possibility that the problem is like you got your front runners, right? And your front runners are your traders. Those guys are gonna front run the shit out of that move before it gets there. And I got played like this a lot in 2021, man. I got front run so many times because traders got ahead of me before I could get my position filled. And I really, if we're moving into a very euphoric market or an uptrend market like we believe we are, then that's what's going to keep happening. We're going to keep getting front run on a lot of these moves.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been seeing. You know, you've had very few opportunities to bid, you know, and you had to have your orders set in advance if you wanted a really nice fill. But yeah, you know, I'm happy being exposed. You know, I feel more comfortable being exposed than not exposed. Let me put it that way. I feel more
Everybody
comfortable
does at
being
this point.
exposed than not. What'd you say,
I
Will?
think I think if the market can't
Everybody
protect those
does.
lows, it's a sign of weakness.
What, these?
I mean, true on both ETH and Bitcoin, right? I mean, we have this slow grind up. It's like Will said, we shouldn't be. Um, if you're giving a sweep of the low, it's like the perfect retest meme.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
I mean, I think you got it. Like this could have been it, man. This took out a lot of people.
Yeah, and you had people keep on re-entering, and now they're waiting to re-enter, right? They're waiting for that pullback to get back in, whether it be longs, whether it be spot, whatever it is, and traders are going to front run that. If they don't front run that and it goes back to the lows, I agree with Tommy. It would be a sign of weakness at that point.
I think you got to hold the 1885 area. Maybe punt one of those. No TP, just upward. Just
I mean, bro, if Jackus is correct and we go to 3,600 before the halving, what are we really even talking about with these low time frame levels? You know, if that actually
They don't
happens,
matter. They
just
don't matter.
hold a bunch of ETH and just turn your brain off. You know, I don't know if he's correct. I hope he is. It just seems like a lot to ask before the halving, in my opinion.
Well,
Again,
Max,
I'm
like
rooting for him. I'm rooting for him because it would be good for me. But I mean, that's who
here,
cares if it's 1890 or 1860? You know, we're
the
talking about 3,600.
yeah, the biggest thing I think that a lot of people are fading is like look at 2021 ETH following Bitcoin. Look at ETH going up. Look at alts going up. Like if you just literally like, and Wabi says it too. I'm not even gonna try and BS like he doesn't say. He 100% says it, and that's just follow the cycle, man. Just shut up. Don't look at macro. Don't look at none of that stuff. Just follow the cycle and the cycle will play as it plays. And I think we're just at that point in the cycle where a lot of people are fading the most obvious play, the most obvious move, man. And the cycle's already playing, and people are still like, "Oh, the cycles don't matter." Well, we'll see. Watch when 2024 plays out and the cycle plays all over again. Let's hear the cycles don't matter because it'll happen again next cycle too, where people say it don't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm a major cycles exist advocate. I know a lot of people like to debate over what a cycle is, and they like to just kind of say that there aren't cycles, and they don't have to do with the halving or whatever. I think it's directly tied to the Bitcoin halving, and I think it's convenient how things line up for sure. But I said this morning in our Discord call. I think there is something to be said about left curving this just a little bit. Okay, if you were to go on and just overlay Bitcoin with, all of the halvings marked out by line, vertical lines, you would see, and I don't know if Tucker, you have that available or not. You would see that historically, this is not a bad time to accumulate this distance out from the halving. Okay. Yes, it can be volatile. Yes, there can be shakeouts, but historically, roughly this far out from the halving has not been the worst time to accumulate. It's actually been pretty good. So there's a part of me that wants to really granularly dissect all of the reasons why this time is different and why the halving and the cycles, quote unquote, don't matter, and how Bitcoin's just not the environment to send something like Bitcoin to an all-time high. However, just look at these lines that Tucker has. If you had bought roughly this distance out from the Bitcoin halving, it typically, it yielded some pretty nice results. Okay. It yielded some pretty nice results. So all that is to say, I think just like every cycle, the ones that kind of left curve it the hardest end up making the most. They just never get out. They never sell. They never take any profit. They put on too much risk at the wrong times. There's definitely a time to put your foot on the gas. But I think if you just turn your brain off a little bit, you might be too smart for your own good. Look at the halvings. I think there's something to it. Okay. I think it's silly to assume that it's just a big coincidence. For me, miners contribute to a majority of the sell pressure that we see. Okay. The ones freeing up the supply. And they have to sell Bitcoin in order to, basically run their businesses, to pay their electrical bills, to make payroll, et cetera, et cetera. And when the miner rewards effectively get cut in half, the amount of supply that gets dumped onto the ask side of the books gets cut in half. So you could tell me I'm wrong. You can, present me with a counter argument. But for me, I don't particularly feel comfortable being completely not exposed to crypto this distance out from the halving, just seeing what we have seen historically. But that's just me. There's 1,000 reasons to be bearish, and you could be right. But I feel more comfortable this distance out from the halving being exposed than not exposed.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, Max, is and the other thing I keep seeing, and I keep having people ask me this question. I'm going to say it here live. Everybody says well, this altcoin's overbought. That altcoin's overbought. That altcoin's overbought. This is overbought. That's overbought. Go look at prices in 2021. Go look at prices in 2017 from the floor. There's no such thing as overbought when you're looking at bull markets to bear markets. A lot of these projects are literally Lucid at $4, right? They're freaking Rivian at $15, $16. You're not understanding the context of the upside potential of liquidity inflows. I'm not even saying the projects. I'm not even saying the projects are good. I'm just talking about money coming into the market. You're not understanding the exponentials. The market has been squeezed. It has been soaked. All the money moved to certain assets specifically. Yes, those are probably not buys, right? But if you look at everything else, it has been destroyed. A lot of your alts, a lot of your small caps, even in stocks, are still very much underwater when it comes to what they did have in liquidity, and they are worth exponentials over what they're currently valued at by the market based on their stock prices at the moment, right? And a lot of people won't get on board until you got $2,000 Tesla, you got $400 Rivian.
You say
or
$2,000 Tesla?
I think it'll get back there in probably in 5-10 years. The
Back
Tesla people are literal psychos, man.
What do you mean?
Not even playing. What's that?
What do you mean back there?
I mean, they were at 2,000. They
No.
stock split and dropped.
Oh, were we there before a split?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We were in the 2,000 or 3,000 somewhere in there before the split.
Bro, this is playing, bro. Look at that. That's kind of
no, it's not, Tucker.
But
that
the
was
point
weeks ago.
The point being, though, is a lot of people are just fading the most obvious, man. It's so freaking obvious. And believe me, I watch Tesla like a hawk. I've had it since the first split. So I can tell you, I know the price on that stock every single time. Especially after splits, man. Splits are just these people just don't understand what a split is. They buy into splits even though they're super bearish. It's dilution, essentially. It just makes you feel like you have more when in reality you're just buying a fraction of something. You're not actually buying the whole thing. But yeah, it's been one of those things, man. I think when you look at companies like Lucid, Rivian, again, I'm going to go back to those names. as low caps because those are two of my favorites. And you go back to things like a lot of these altcoins in the altcoin market that people are like, oh, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit, that's a VC coin. It's like, yeah, all those are. But guess what? They're going to run them back this cycle. They're going to blow them up. They're going to make you guys think that they're the future, aka crypto.com, with all the advertising, all the BS. And then it went back down and like 98, 99x, everybody's portfolio is down. Those things are going to get run back. They are going to get run back.
Are you talking about CRO for crypto.com? Like their
Yes.
coin?
Oh, I forgot that existed.
Yeah, me too.
Completely
I remember I was
obliterated
watching that.
people.
I don't think I ever owned any, but I did keep an eye on it last cycle
Look at
because I
it.
had that credit card and I just kept getting advertised for like you get 10% back on like this
Get a
CRO.
bet if you stake 400K worth.
Max, these are the coins that will run it back next cycle, man. Like, look at the advertising Crow had.
You think that CRO is bullish next cycle?
It's stupid, it's dumb, but they literally hired like real freaking movie stars and stuff, man. Like, I could see them doing it all over again.
Really?
Where is Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Matt
Fortune favors
Damon,
the
bro.
brave.
Yeah,
Did
that was
Matt
it.
Damon say that?
Yeah.
South Park did a really good job making fun of those commercials.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Like, don't fade the VCs. Just swim with the whales and get out before the whales eat everybody.
Can't believe you made me pull up the crypto.com chart.
I gotta bring back the OGs, man. Gotta bring back the OGs.
Is it an OG though? Is it?
It is now. It is now. They haven't
Yeah.
died. They're still alive, and they're gonna do it again. Watch.
All right, guys, we've been going for about an hour 15. This might be time, gentlemen. I'm going to take us out. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We're going to call it a wrap on today's show. This is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We go live Monday through Friday at 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We love your guys' continued support. It keeps us motivated, keeps us showing up every single day, and thank you guys for being here as always. We have one of the most loyal and committed audiences, and we greatly appreciate your guys' support. You guys truly are the best, and I do not say that lightly. Please consider subscribing. Additionally, if you haven't liked this stream yet, please consider giving us a quick thumbs up. You guys did great on the likes today. I think, yeah, we're at 46 likes. That's great. It's great. I'm sure the later crew who watches the rerun should be able to get us over 50 as they normally do. But thanks so much for being here, guys. Please like and subscribe. And furthermore, if you want to take another step with us here at Because Bitcoin and better your trading career, consider checking out that first link in the description of the video below. It's becausebitcoin.com/premium. It will take you to our website where you can sign up to join our Discord. You get to hang out with me, Tucker, Will's Outlook, Snorlax, Jackus, and Wabi. And you get to see all of our positions. We share our active positions, premium analysis that we don't talk about here on YouTube. And we do about an hour and a half per day of live voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin community. It's really great value. And I will say there's probably not another Discord out there that works harder than we do. Now, the code going across the bottom of the screen. If you want to try it for 1 month for free, you click on the link below. It will take you to our website. And then when you're going to check out, you will type in this code, TwitterBB. It will give you 30 days for free. It's really awesome. Again, it won't charge you for 30 days. So if you don't like it, you can cancel. But I have a feeling you will like it. So please consider checking that out as well. It's a really great experience. Help support us. Help support your trading journey as well. Win, win, win. But guys, we're going to call it here. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Happy Monday. Let's have a great week. Stay safe on the leverage out there. You know what I mean? Like it looks frothy. It looks like bullish accumulation, but I will say this, shakeouts can happen. Even if it's bullish, shakeouts can happen. So just stay safe out there. There's always another entry. There's always another trade. Like I said, just stay safe. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day and take care.